Hello, everybody. It's me, Aaron Collins, and this is another rendition of me addressing worldly issues in a godly way. So, I wanted to do some more elaborating on the shooting in Las Vegas, which was an act of terrorism. Trump did a news conference condemning the shooting, saying it was an act of pure evil, in which it was. But he's also averting from what it actually is, which is an act of terrorism, a pure act of domestic terrorism. One of the things that I want to mention, as far as the shooter is concerned, actually, I want to mention several things. The shooter is named Stephen Paddick, 64 years old. He lived in Nevada. At one time, he also lived in Texas, in Mesquite, just outside of Dallas. And he also lived in Mesquite, Nevada. I'm not sure if he was living in that particular town in Nevada at the time of this incident, but he was still a resident of Nevada. Now, Nevada, from what I understand, is also one of those states that have gun laws where you could carry. That's not the issue here. That's not, there's no problem with that. It was the types of weapons that he had. Paddick was found to be in possession of several types of rifles, which somehow he was able to get into the Mandalay Bay Casino and Resort, which is where he was staying. And he got them to the 32nd floor, which is very interesting. Now, he was at a country music concert. So, as I've mentioned before, the demographic of country music, usually an older white crowd. And from what they were showing when they were doing interviews with survivors, the majority of them were older white people. Now, first of all, I want to, sidebar, I wanted to mention, and I said this before, my condolences and prayers are with the families of those that were lost, also with the survivors. I don't condone any innocent person's life being taken or any innocent being hurt at random because of one terrorist. They're also labeling this, though, in the media as the worst shooting, the worst mass shooting in history. I beg to differ because it's actually not. There have been some far worse than this one. However, that doesn't mitigate from the fact that this was a terrible incident. Now, Paddick had an accomplice, a female accomplice, who seems to be AWOL at this time. Mary Lou, I think that was her name, Mary Lou Danley. Apparently, she was agitating in the crowd, screaming and yelling that you're all going to die. You're all going to die. But the police somehow seemed to let her go, which is very odd to me. Why would you let someone who probably knows more about the incident than anyone other than the shooter himself go? See, it's a lot of loose ends that need to be tied up as far as this. But Paddick, back to him. Paddick was said to have been, as they say, when it comes to white suspects, that he was a nice guy. He just snapped. They interviewed his brother. He was just a guy. That's what his brother said. He was just a guy. He, whatever, pathologizing. He was just a nice guy. He lived a quiet life. Well, okay. But see, this is where it comes when it comes to different pathologies. When it comes to white suspects, they want to go into their medical history what kind of issues they had, the what happened. He was bullied in school, used to be picked on, doing everything they can to humanize the suspect, make them normal, make them, oh, it's okay. It's a picture they want to paint. It's a narrative they want you to see that he was just an unfortunate victim. Whereas if this had been a black man, and say this was even a rap concert, and this same thing happened, they would have labeled him as an animal. Now, true enough, what happened was very animalistic. It would be, but they would have went after any black person they would have seen. People running from the incident, they would have thrown them to the ground. Folks that are just trying to get out of the way. This is the narrative that they want to paint. And yeah, I am putting color on this. I'm putting, it's something I just can't help. But I am putting color into it for the simple fact is this is how society sees things. This is what society does. They always put black and white. And it's a racially based society. Everything is race based in this nation. Now, you can deny it if you want, but I'm just stating facts. I've heard things that Paddick is probably acting under what's known as MK Ultra, which is a mind control device. It's a sort of mind control where you're supposedly acting under like a program, basically a psyop. And that's why it's basically kind of like when you comparison with the Dallas shooter, acting under a psyop. If you understand how the movie called The Manchurian Candidate works, you know what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, I'll even give you a more current example. There was a movie called Captain America Winter Soldier. A character, a friend of Captain America's, known as the Winter Soldier, which was really Bucky Buchanan, which was Steve Williams' friend. And Steve Williams was Captain America's secret identity. Bucky was under the mind control of an organization known as Hydra. It was under this mind control that he went on on a spree, and in the spree he accidentally killed Iron Man's parents as well as some other people. Now, this is not a conversation or a video about Marvel Comics. I'm just trying to show you something here, show a point of how this form of mind control works. A psyop. I saw another interesting video last night where it could have been orchestrated by the government itself in order to usher in stricter gun laws. It's something called organized chaos, where they have something called, what is it? Okay, hold on. Problem, react, solution. They create the problem so they can come up with the solution. They want to find a way to disarm the people. That way they have all the guns. That's actually what Hitler did during his reign of the Nazi. He disarmed all the people, took away their guns, and basically set up and dominated the Nazi regime. He had absolute power. So all of these are some very interesting theories. But I already know that this is all a result of a society that is desperately and increasingly becoming more and more wicked. This is why we really need to come together and really get our prayer going. But back to what I was saying, how they talk about this in the media. They always paint a picture of terrorism with a dark face. They always paint negativity with a dark colored face. It's a type of subliminal mind control where they want to desensitize the public and to see people of darker skin as evil. It's always been that way. It's been that way since the beginning of time. Everything associated with the color black has been evil, dismal. Everything associated with the color white has always been associated with purity and something pleasant. Well, we know throughout history and throughout the history of the United States of America that we've had our own domestic terrorism in the form of white supremacy and still going on. Radical white supremacy. Now, they even went as far as to say that Paddick was associated with ISIS, but that was quickly debunked. He didn't have any ties to ISIS. But this is the media. Hey, this is the narrative. They want to always point the blame at something else. They always want to humanize the suspect. They want to point the blame on someone else, that someone else caused him to do it. He had mental issues. Little green Martians came down and hypnotized him. Someone stole his bike, etc., etc. It's never no responsibility. It's always a deflection from what's really going on. Now I'm gonna put my 2 cents in it and see if I can figure this out. I think what basically happened, 64-year-old Stephen Paddick was basically living out his white privilege. He was probably denied something and he couldn't get it. And what happened is he went on a killing spree. Basically, he had a white supremacist fit. And as a result, over 50 innocent people lost their lives and over 500 more were wounded. Now, this happened in Vegas, which is interesting because Vegas is known as the city of light, or it's a nickname they have for Vegas. I'm probably getting it confused with New York. But one thing, this is an expression I've heard with Vegas, that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, obviously, this didn't stay in Vegas because we all know about it. But everyone, this is really a sign of things to come. We need to really sit up here and take notice. We need to get out of our own little fantasy zones. We need to get out of the Twilight Zone. We need to come back to reality and realize what's going on in this world today. It's time to be alert. You know, the Bible says that for us to be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary, the devil, walketh about as a roaring lion seeking whom may devour. That's real. I mean, we can't afford to be sitting around here lost and thinking, oh, it's not going to happen to me. That was an isolated incident. Well, that happened to them. The same thing can happen to you also. But yeah, I wanted to elaborate more on this. I wanted to do some more commentary on this whole incident because this incident's actually been on my mind all day. Believe it or not. I do take notice of such things. Considering that I was just in Vegas a few months ago myself for an event, and I wasn't too far from Mandalay Bay. So it's scary. No. Now this is not everyone in any way for folks to get paranoid and stay inside. Yeah, I know the world can be a scary place, but we have to be in the world. We have to deal with this world, and we have to deal with things as they come. For those that are called according to the faith, well, yeah, true enough, we must pray, but at the same time, we need to also go out there and spread hope and comfort those who need to be comforted, because we living in some perilous times. It's just that simple. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tickle people's ears and say, oh, it's okay, we're fine. Yeah, everything is going to be okay. I get that. But guess what? Things are still going to get more volatile. We just need to just sit up and take notice. That's all. Are you going to be okay? Yes, you are going to be okay. There is hope for you. Relax. But I just want everyone to know out there what kind of culture we're dealing with. I want to know what's going on. So some folks can justify and say that this is God's way of attacking, of judging white folks for all the racism that's going on unchecked. Well, it's all kind of theories and stuff folks could say. I mean, but anyway, this is for anyone that's in earshot. Put your trust and faith in God. And like I said, this is not me trying to convert people. This is not me beating people upside the head. This is not me doing that. I'm trying to show some compassion here, everyone. I mean, I know I might say some things that might sound a little bit messed up. My words don't always come out clearly. I'm working on that. I'm trying to be a better orator. But just bear with me, everyone. I'm just trying to state the facts, though. I'm just trying to state the facts. I'm just telling you how the media it spins a certain narrative when it comes to white people and black people. Because, see, everyone wants to talk about, Chicago and black-on-black crime. And I've stated before that black-on-black crime is only a smaller byproduct of a white supremacist system that further and continues to disenfranchise African Americans. But that's not to say innocent people deserve to get their lives taken in Las Vegas. I know the majority of them were white. This is not an attack on the white race. Once again, everyone, relax. If this does not apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. Relax. Only a hit dog hollers. Because I know I'm going to probably hear it. I'm going to catch it. But I put myself on this platform of YouTube, so I can handle it. But really, everyone, it's good to have some dialogue, because this is something that we really don't need to sweep under the rug. And that's black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Middle Eastern, Native American, Eskimo, whoever. This does not need to be swept under the rug. This needs to be talked about. So once again, I invite everyone to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Get into comments. I know. I mean, it's like I said, this is some serious times we're living in. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Hit the bell icon too, so you can be notified, alerted every time I drop another video. And just wanted to let everyone know that I have a goal I'm trying to meet at the end of this year, to have at least 1,000 subscribers. Okay? So once again, everyone, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and everyone just remember, look, this is my way of getting out to the people and just talking to folks. This is my way of speaking to folks on YouTube. Everything that I mentioned, all these theories I just mentioned, these are just ideas. These are things. I listen to everyone. The thing about PSYOPs and MK Ultra, believe it or not, that stuff is actually real. And that is something to take into consideration. I know I can get deep with these conversations I'm having, but it's a deep world we're living in. So once again, everyone, for the third time, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified, and we'll go from there. So, with a smile on my face, God loves you. I love you. Let's do life.